Good morning, YouTube. So today, this is a two-part video. A lot of people I know or people I work with will come in contact with me will ask me, they'll say, hey, Kenny, you fly a lot. And we know your motto, if your pants are on, your gun's on. So how do you fly with a firearm? All right, so this is really easy. I'm gonna just break it down to you. First thing you need to do is you need to Google that airline and find out what their prerequisites are to fly. Two, you need to check this destination you're going to, what their gun laws are before you get there. If you have a CCW, find out if you have reciprocity in the place in which you're traveling to. And three, you need to make sure you have the correct case and locks for that firearm. So usually that when you, step number one, once you look up that airline and find out their prerequisites, they'll tell you. And most things are you have to have an approved case, approved locks, and the ammunition needs to come in the original case. So I'll just give you a visual of the case I use. I use the Pelican IM 2050. It has the latches on the sides and the the lock holes on the side. Because one thing a lot of airlines will say is that you cannot open the case just to even get a pinky in there even when there's not locks on it. So if you try to use the original gun case that the gun comes in and put a lock on it, you can still pry those cases open a little bit. So it's not a good case to use. So this is the case I use. Airlines are different. So when I fly to like JFK out of Reagan, not JFK, I'm sorry. Yeah, I said JFK. Out of Reagan International, can't think, DCA, sorry. In DC, they usually don't bat an eye. I'll go to the desk, I'll tell them, hey, got a firearm. They'll be like, all right, sign the card, put it in the bag. They'll walk me to the big X-ray, because they don't throw it on the belt behind them because you have a firearm in there. They'll actually walk you down there. They'll send your bag through, give you the thumbs up, you're on your way. But then I've went through Jacksonville Airport down in Florida not too long after that shooting happened, and they were more stringent. And I understand why. They just had a shooting and they wanted to just be thorough, and I get it. But that's what I do. And then when you get to the other side, just to let you know, and it has happened to me where I come out and my bag is going around the turnstile at baggage claim, but the way it's supposed to happen is it should go to that little room where lost luggage goes. They'll be in there because it'll be a sticker on your bag letting the baggage attendant know that there's a firearm in that case, and they don't want that bag just going around the turnstile with a gun in it. So usually you'll have to go pick it up from there. But that's it. And then you go get your rental car and you'll sit in the rental garage and start loading magazines like I do. But anyway, that's me. And like I said, my CCWs, I have one in Florida, DC, Maryland, Virginia, and California. So I'm good in 42 states and the District of Columbia. So I kind of know where I have reciprocity. And the states that I usually travel to that I don't have reciprocity, I said that wrong. I don't travel there because it's states I just don't have a need to go to. And if I did, my gun would still go. I just won't carry concealed. Except New York. Not going there. Don't want to mess with them. They're weird with their gun laws. So, I guess I should throw this out there too. No, I don't. Yeah, I guess I will. Even layovers. So if I had a layover, if I was flying from, let's say, Florida and had a layover in New York for some reason, that bag should be checked all the way through. But let's just say my flight got canceled or something and I had to get my bag and stay there. Now you have a gun in New York. That's kind of hairy situation. So I just make sure I don't have layovers in places like that. All right, enough about that. So the second thing I said I would talk about the other day is actually inside this case right now, and it is my G45. And it's G45 in name. You can see on the front, G45. It is not a 45 caliber Glock. It is a 9mm. It's just the naming standards that Glock does. You know, G48, 49, 50, G51, 52. Who knows? Whatever they go up to, the caliber does not coincide with the name. So anyway, this one, in true Kenny fashion, I put the HD Trijicon night sights on it because I don't like Glock sights. It has a slightly like rounded front slide, which I guess gives it a sexier look, not the boxy look, which I don't care either way. It still does what I need it to do. It has the 17 slide for people with these big sandwich clamps like myself. Hand fits on there perfect. It has a G17 frame, I'm sorry, not slide, and has a 19 slide. So it has the bigger grip and the shorter slide. and that works for people that run comps on the front of theirs because then it can fit in their holsters without problem. Um, has the front forward cocking serrations on it, slightly beveled mag well, as you can see. Um, the G19X is pretty much the same gun. The G19X, for those of you who don't know, and I know most of my um, Second Amendment guys and gals do know, is that it's the FDE version, or the flat dark earth, or what us Marines call coyote. It's that one. They're pretty much the exact same gun. Difference is it doesn't have the front cocking serrations on the G19X, and the G19X comes standard with night sights. The G19X has a front, like a little lip down here on the magwell, and it has differences. Oh, it has the maritime spring cups, or cup springs, which is good for keeping water and debris out, because they have those on that because it was in the running up for the MHS program for the Army when they were looking for their new service pistol. So they put those on there for more, I would say, what's the word I'm looking for? Extreme conditions. You wouldn't need it on this pistol unless you were planning on doing like some cool amphibious operations coming out of your pool in your backyard and all of that. But hey, if you want them, you can buy them aftermarket and put them on your Glock. But those are the differences. Someone asked me too the other day. They were like, "Oh, you got a lot of Glocks. Are you a Glock fan or this?" No, these are my carry weapons for a reason. They're accurate guns. They're durable. They're fairly cheap for guns, And if I had to use it, which I pray to God I never do, but if I did, I'm not worried about this one sitting in the evidence locker because I didn't pay freaking $1,700, $2,000 for it. And it's a tool. That's what a firearm is. I mean, I don't know the brand of hammer I got in my toolbox, nor do I care. But when I need it to drive nails, it drives nails. So just remember that this is a tool. To answer that question to the person who asked me that, and they know who they are, this is a tool, man. And if I needed to use it to protect my life or my family's life or whatever the situation may be, which, once again, God forbid, that never happens because that's not what I would ever want to do. But if I did, I'm not worried about this one going away because it will go away for a while. One other thing about that G45, while I got off topic a little bit, is that it comes with a standard 17 round mag capacity, but I'm in the great state of California, so I have to have 10 round magazine, and I keep one in the pipe. But thanks to Kim, he know who he is. He swapped out mags with me before I left Virginia. I gave him and he gave me his 10 because he had just left California, and I was coming to California. Another thing is that I wanted to talk about this Glock. No, it wasn't this Glock I wanted to talk about. It was about the state of the world right now. It's another gun review I want to do, but I can't get my hands on this particular firearm because everywhere is sold out. I understand coronavirus, people got scared, people bought up guns. I'm not going to say I'm against that because, hey, I'm for everyone owning a firearm if that's what you choose to do. But just get training on it and kind of know your gun. Don't, people are sitting at home now because we're, some people are restricted to go out. I don't like to say quarantine, but restricted to go out. But don't sit in your house playing with your gun. If you're a new gun owner, don't sit there and play with it, and you. It's just not a good thing. You will have some problems can happen if you don't know what you're doing. And I would say just don't sit around playing with your gun. But anyway, the reason I brought that up was to say it's a gun I want to do a review on, but I can't because I can't get my hands on it right now. The time for gun buying isn't now for us Second Amendment supporters. We buy our guns prior to this, so we don't have this problem. This is usually when we don't buy guns because prices go up. But anyway, I just wanted to get this video out and say a few things. Oh, I know what the other thing I did want to say is. I know it's early in the morning here, scatterbrain this morning, is that this is an off-roster firearm, meaning it is not on the California approved roster. This is a Gen 5 Glock. They don't have Gen 5s, Gen 4s on their approved roster. due to the micro stamping. I can do a whole nother video on that, but mine is registered here. I brought it here when I PCS from Virginia to California, registered it here in California, so I can own it. It's just not on the roster to buy. And you can look that up and Google it, the California approved roster, or I can do a video on it later and tell you exactly what that means. But yeah, so that's that in a nutshell. And when I get my hands on this firearm that I want to do this review on, I'll be coming to you shortly. But until then, I'll see you.